So you've made it as far as the parking lot outside your favorite computer superstore, and you know when you go inside the store, you'll see shelf after shelf of tantalizing software, hardware, and peripherals. How do you decide what to buy? What's new? What's neat? What works? Well, it's usually best to get the advice of friends. So today we'll gather some friends around the table as we bring you our annual Computer Consumers Buying Guide on this special edition of the Computer Chronicles.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by the Software Publishers Association, providers of educational materials to help manage software. Don't copy that floppy.
Welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stuart Chaffee, and with me today is Paul Schindler, our software reviewer and editor with Windows Magazine. Paul, I have a neat little box I want to show off here. You know, I used to have on my night table next to my bed a telephone, and then I bought an answering machine, and then I had an alarm clock, and then I had a radio, and then I bought one box that did all those four things. This does the same thing for your office. It's the Docket from Okidata, a complete one-box document management peripheral. It is a laser printer, a pretty nice laser copy. We just printed that out. It is a fax machine. Here's your telephone keypad. It is a scanner, and it is a copy machine. It does it all. It costs about $3,900, but you don't need four boxes in your office anymore, just one, and in fact it replaces maybe $6,000 worth of equipment. What do you have?
I have a very similar situation, Stuart. I've got here the NEC CD-ROM Express package. Now, it's based around an external CD-ROM player that works with either the Macintosh or the PC. You specify at the time you buy it. In addition to getting this player, you also get a pair of speakers for stereo sound, and you get 10 CD-ROMs full of software and images. The set varies depending on whether you buy the Macintosh version or the PC version, but the idea is this is hundreds of dollars worth of software, and essentially you're getting a free CD-ROM if you figure the retail price of this software. So it's a great entry into CD-ROM computing.
Two good buying suggestions to start off with. Paul, we're going to be joined today by Tim Baharin of Creative Strategies, Steve Fox of PC World Magazine, Jim Martin of Macworld Magazine, for a fun look at some great computer hardware and software. And we'll start in just a moment with a look at some new products for DOS and Windows. The world of computer users is, alas, a divided world. There are the Mac heads, there are the PC fans, and there are the real fanatics, those who still love their Amiga, their Atari, or their Apple IIgs. Well, today we'll begin with products for PC users, and here to give us their picks of the year are Steve Fox, Senior Features Editor with PC World Magazine, our friend Tim Baharin, President of Creative Strategies, Inc., and here with me on this side of the table again, Paul Schindler of Windows Magazine. Steve, you get the honor of going first. What neat toys are you going to show us?
Oh, great. Well, I'm lucky. I actually have two toys. This looks a lot like a pen, you'll notice, but actually this is a tablet. It's made by a company named Wacom, and I use it much like I would a mouse. If you'll notice, I'm not actually touching this tablet. And I'm going to be demonstrating a product called Fractal Design Sketcher. I'm going to open something. Well, I can't really see what I'm doing here. Let's go.
There you go.
New, okay. And I'm going to be opening a new piece of art. Now, as you will quickly notice, I am not an artist, but I can still do some things that are pretty neat with this.
But you do play one on television.
Yes, absolutely. What this does is it's going to mimic the sort of brushes. So this is a charcoal stroke, and actually it's pressure sensitive, so that's a darker stroke. I mean, I can do the same thing with a pen, and we'll just wait until it finishes churning here. And yes, it's having some fun. Come to us. There we go. And that gives more of a pen. Let me show you a couple other effects here, many of which are a lot of fun.
Lots of choices.
There's a spray can, and as one would expect, let's just pick a color. You notice this is black and white. There is, of course, a color version of this. This just came out, and once again, I can change the darkness. Let's say I wanted to do something resembling calligraphy here, and we just pick the calligraphy tool, and let's try something here.
And if you lighten up the pressure,
I will get something lighter, or I can make it darker, or anything like that. Of course, calligraphy is not one of my fortes, but if I were doing this sort of thing, it's very likely that I would want to change the paper background. And there is a way I can do that. I'll pick corrugations here, and I'm going to now go to Effects, and I'm going to, you notice, Apply Surface Texture, and it will actually pick the light source, and I'm going to be able to change what the background is. It's doing the work now. This is pretty much difficult to do as far as needing a lot of processor time and energy. Now, you hear a lot about, of course, paint programs. This is actually a paint program that you would paint with. And there's a background there. I'll show you one that's really fun here. Artists. Okay, we have Seurat. Of course, Seurat was known for pointillism, and this does a sort of a mimicking of that sort of effect.
Great.
So you can do it on your own, and then not to be left out, Vincent himself is here. There's a little Van Gogh, and we'll change the color on that. And he was, of course, known for those sort of brush strokes. Well, let's see if we can get open space here. That also had this special sort of effect to them, and there you can see it there. And we'll just go with one more here under Special, and this is one that has no real name. It's called Distorto. It's not any brush that I actually know of, but if you look,
Famous Italian painter.
yes, yes, Gustavo Distorto was very famous for this. This is a new product.
Water.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we also have, we'll just go one more
You
here.
have literal water.
Okay, we have water, and of course, if you pick water, you can
Pour
smear
water on
things.
it, huh?
You see that?
Oh, wow.
We're just sort of smearing here, and you can grab it. This is $149. Of course, the tablet is a lot more as it works
Okay, so
out.
it's Fractal Designer.
That's right.
And how much is the tablet?
It's
Steve?
about $600,
Wow.
but pressure sensitive and a lot of
Pretty
fun.
nice.
And that pretty much covers it on this.
Okay, nice toy. Okay, Tim, we're going to turn to you. What do you have for us?
A couple of really interesting products. The first one is one called Lotus Organizer for Windows. I have carried a pocket organizer for years, and yet I also carry a portable. And this is one of the first ones that I've seen that I personally would really use. You have the calendar here, where you can go through a normal calendar on the front page, but a real nice to-do list where I can go in and write things. They come back and remind me, have some memory stuff there. My normal address book that I would have, and then a good little notepad where I can talk about things that I'm going to do here. I've got a proposal, projections, vacation, and it will also put tabs on that for me. And then a really good planner, a full year planner where I can go in and
That's nice.
every day set up, etc. This is a really nice little product, sells for $149 and is just become available.
So if you have your notebook, you don't need to carry that organizer
No.
anymore.
It's really a good one. The other product that I'm going to show you today is actually kind of a good little a series of font products. The first one is the Flintstone fonts. When they
Flintstones
first told me from Bitstream
It's a
that they
productivity tool,
That's right. They said that they had these little fonts, and from Flintstone, and I go, oh, really? And he said, yeah, they're called Bedrock fonts. And I thought they were putting me on, but the first one is Flintstones. Then they have another pack just for what they call Winter Holiday, and then a third one, which all the Trekkies will
my
love,
favorite.
which is Star Trek. And what we're going to do here is
You have
just
any you can show us?
quickly bring up a sheet that I have that has all of them on there, and you'll see the first one is
It's a holiday.
Happy Holidays, but it's actually got all of the different Flintstone characters,
Right,
Pebbles
right.
and Bam Bam and the whole group. Then you have some images. Then you go farther down, you've got the
Star
Christmas
Trek,
fonts.
yeah.
And then they actually have the fonts from
that's
Star
nice,
Trek,
yeah.
from the Enterprise and the Star Trek movies that were actually licensed from Paramount for this use.
You can license anything these days.
Yeah,
even
19
fonts from a movie. Right?
1995, great little gifts and good product for this
That'd be great.
holiday.
Klingon too, doesn't
Yes, Klingon.
Klingon.
Unfortunately, Klingon wasn't in there.
Yeah.
All right, it is your turn, Paul. What do you got?
Thank you very much, Stuart. I'm going to be showing Print Shop Deluxe. I'll start just by showing the packaging so you can find it easily in the store. It's $80, and it's the Windows version of the long-existing DOS program, the single most popular home printing application. People have been using it for making my own children have been using it to make holiday cards and birthday cards for years. Now it's in Windows and a very new look. Actually, it's ironic. Maybe this will help Broderbund because I think Print Shop probably bears the distinction of being the world's most frequently pirated software in DOS, along with its add-ons. They take advantage of the Windows environment by having true type fonts. Now, I just picked one here and wrote the Computer Chronicles on an Egyptian card background. But this program would have access to all of the true type fonts, which means that they're scalable, they're rotatable. You can grab this and if you were more I know how to do that. Yes, if you're more competent than I am, you can actually you can actually grab those and rotate them. If you start off to do a new card, You get a choice of whether you want to do a greeting card, a sign, a banner. So much better than the DOS version. Now, it's not just because I'm with Windows Magazine, but I actually believe that a graphical user interface gives you so much more information and makes it so much easier to make your decisions. The most common, at least in our house, use for print shop is the creation of greeting cards, particularly birthday cards, customized birthday cards. And you get your choice of formats and you see what format you're going to get before you choose it. Then the next step is to choose from a broad selection of backgrounds, such things as baby animals, Bon Voyage, Clown and Hoop, dinner food, Easter basket, Egyptian party, haunted house. You know, we could compose a Halloween card right here. And then within each background, there's a series of layouts that have to do with where you put text and their clip art graphics.
I gotta push you along. What
I'm
else do you
sorry,
have here?
Stuart. So that's print shop. It's $80 for Windows. This is the Logitech hand scanner. Now, I know we've talked about it before, and the only reason I bring it up again is the price continues to drop on this product. Retail price for the Model 32 black and white hand scanner is $150. Street price is $100 and down. Now, don't call and ask me where to find it. Check the catalogs, check the back pages of the newspapers. A terrific way to get into scanning. And finally, Xtree for Windows, much better than Xtree for DOS, and perfect for zipping, compressing files in Windows. A beautiful package. That's $99.
All right, quickly, just a couple of toys I want to point out. This is a wonderful new thing from Disney Software called Stunt Island. It is a flight simulator. It is a movie-making simulator. It's you can fly 45 different planes. You have 8 cameras you can run, so you actually film your own stunts flying the airplane. You can put voiceover sounds on top of it. I don't know what you'd call it. It's kind of a new category. Terrific program from Disney. I think it's $49 or so. A couple other things. If you write speeches and you do a lot of stuff, QuoteMaster Plus for Windows. It's a Bartlett's Online in Windows. Very, very effective. If you write speeches, you got to tell jokes at the beginning, right? So you can get just joking, a collection of thousands of jokes. My favorite part of that, if the jokes really fail, you can always wear the glasses and the nose that comes along with it, and then they laugh at you just because of that. This is a nice program, fantastic Japanese language instruction program called Power Japanese for Windows. It teaches you stroke by stroke how to draw the characters, teaches you how to speak. Comes with its own sound adapter. You don't have to have a sound adapter. Go into your parallel port. In here you plug your headphones. All done. Fantastic. Finally, you were talking about things that we've seen before but have come down in price. Combined television and your computer. Now, we've seen this. We saw this a couple years ago for $800. $270 or so. You can now put this board into your PC and you have a television set. Last but not least, a little flashing over here. If you really want to show you're a computer guy, you get these computer suspenders. They're available in Boston for $7.95. Okay.
Great.
In the early days, about 10 years ago, matter of fact, you had to be very clever to find a place to buy computer products. Maybe a Radio Shack store somewhere or a mail order house. Well, that has obviously all changed. Today, you find PCs, Mac, software, and other goodies in the most unlikely places, like right next to the refrigerators and the washing machines at Sears.
Sears, where America shops for clothes, appliances, and computers.
You know, you think of Craftsman tools when you come to Sears and our Kenmore line and whatnot. And when people walk up and down, walk up and down the aisles, they see that we do have a computer department and it's pretty big and we have a lot of equipment in the apartment. They stop in. And, they don't buy the first time, but now it's in their mind. And they come back in and say, I was here the other day or something like that. Can you show me a computer?
Sears carries top-of-the-line computers such as the IBM PS1 and the Apple Macintosh, and it carries less expensive PC clones like Packard Bell. You can also buy familiar software packages at Sears. Why buy computer hardware or software at Sears? One of the big reasons is that many people have just one credit card, a Sears card. Another reason is the buyer's belief that Sears won't be out of business in a week, something that's not always true of your little neighborhood computer shop. According to the salesman here, one important reason why people buy computers at Sears rather than from a mail order house is that they think Sears will support them with service.
As far as maintenance, it should break, unfortunately, if something should happen to it. They have a very large fleet, 17,000, I believe, service technicians that can't come to the home. So you're always being taken care of after the sale, as opposed to a mail order where you have to box it up, send it back and wait for it to return.
But for most buyers, there was another reason they bought their computer at Sears.
Bottom line reason was price. Bottom line reason was price again, and their ability to provide me with the machine in a reasonable amount of time.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Janelle Stelson.
right, time now for goodies for Macintosh users, and here to guide us through all the toys are Jim Martin of Macworld Magazine, back with us Tim Baharan of Creative Strategies, and Paul Schindler of Windows Magazine. And you have, what, a bunch of CD-ROMs you want to show us, Jim, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff happening with CD-ROMs right now, particularly because of QuickTime, which is Apple's system extension, which lets you run video on any computer without the hardware that you usually need.
So which ones you have?
So I've got the new Grolier Multimedia Encyclopedia. It's basically 21-volume encyclopedia on one disc. And unlike the encyclopedia that you would normally get, it's got the QuickTime movie, it's got computer-generated animations, color maps, and text and graphics. So we are going to look, whoops, what have we done here? There are a couple of different ways that you can look at information in here. This menu bar lets you look at different types of information such as maps, still photos, and so forth. And here is the QuickTime movie icon, which I think is...
How much is this, Jim?
This is $395, which may sound a lot for a CD-ROM, but
for a 21-volume
21-volume encyclopedia,
movies, sound,
that's right.
Animation.
So if you're interested in, say, historical events and personalities, you click on that particular line. And let's say you're an aviation buff, you can look at a QuickTime movie of Amelia Earhart. There's Charles Lindbergh's solo transatlantic flight. My favorite is the Hindenburg disaster. It's always an uplifting
You love
entertainment.
crashes, huh?
That's right. So you click on that, and CD-ROM drives are a little slow, but they get there eventually. So here we've got the QuickTime window. You click on this,
Riding majestically toward us like some great feather.
and you've got the
These
famous
giant flagship standing
footage.
near
The
the
radio
American
announcer
airline
who happened to
flagship,
be
waiting
there that
flights
day
to go off
to
one of the
Yes.
United
see,
States
the
when it
landing.
gets
Yes.
forward. It's
This shows the whole
standing
crash?
still now. It's up, broke out
from
of the nose.
1937.
Yep. Man had,
If you really
backed
love this,
up a
I
little
assume you
bit.
love the part at the end,
That
right?
motor
Oh, yeah.
So
just
we were hanging here watching.
holding
I mean,
it,
talk about system crashes.
just
This
now.
is
Here we
a
go.
serious one.
It burst into flames. Get it started. Get it started. It's right, and it's right. It's right. Terrible. Oh my! Get out of the way, please.
Well, it certainly brings an encyclopedia to life. It's a lot different just reading about it, huh?
Yes, yes. So if you, once you've had your fill of disaster, you can read about it. You click on this button here,
Hypertext kind of link.
hypertext, right? And it'll give you, in this case, 4 different options. And there's some that are more general, and then here's one that's very specific about the Hindenburg. You call that up, and this gives you the text that's in the encyclopedia itself, the volumes. And
You could also print out these entries
you
if
can
you
print
needed
them
to.
out, right? And gives you some bibliography and caption. If you want to go back to the movie one more time, you can click on that icon. So that kind of gives you a taste of...
I guess
this
in fairness to the speed, I mean, if you wanted to go find another volume from your 21 books, it would take you some time to walk over to the bookshelf and put the book out and
Yes,
find
and
the
then you have to
page
carry
so
it and lug it around.
Yeah.
And there are faster CD players than the one we're using
Yes,
today.
this is the older Apple CD-ROM drive. They've come out with a new one, the 300i, and it's, I think, about twice as fast.
Okay, well, what's the other CD you want to show us, Jim?
Okay, the other one is called Funny, and it is an actual full-length movie on CD-ROM, which I think is pretty unusual.
Okay, you're going to switch
Yes,
discs
I need to
there on us?
switch discs.
All right, let me do a couple of things while you're getting the
right.
next one up. While we're kind of in the multimedia mode here, I have a couple of things for guys who like to play music on their Macintosh. This is kind of neat. This is Audio Shop from Opcode. It's under $100, about $89 or something. It really gives you a digital audio studio on your Macintosh. It lets you mix sampled sounds from a disc with actual sounds from a CD, from a CD-ROM. It's kind of neat, $89 from Opcode called Audio Shop. This is really neat if you're into music. Instead of spending a couple $100 on one of those MIDI keyboards, this is the whole ball game. This is a whole tone generator from Yamaha. It has 192 instruments in it, 8 different drum sets, 28-note polyphony in here. I mean, it's a powerful, powerful thing that turns your Mac into a full-blown music studio. And it's not only a Mac. In fact, if you see back here, there's a little switch. It's got a built-in MIDI interface. It'll run on a PC, run on a Mac, do anything. It's the newest thing from Yamaha if you're really into music. That's kind of neat. So Audio Shop and this Yamaha tone generator.
And how much is that?
This is about $400, something like that, for the tone generator, $89 for Audio Shop. Great to turn your Macintosh into a music studio. How are we doing over here?
Okay, I think we're ready to go. One of the first screens that you get is this sort of tongue-in-cheek FBI, FYI warning. It says the film contains something to offend all thinking, feeling life forms. Please exit if you can't take a joke. Well, I think we can handle this,
Okay,
don't
go
you?
for it.
All right, so let's click on this little man here. And
we would.
Here we
okay.
have two options. You can watch the entire 80-minute film in a linear, traditional way, which I have yet to do. I don't think I will.
Okay.
Or we can go the self-service route. This being the 90s, this is probably what we'll do. So then you click on that window.
And you can sort of pick the funny movie sequence you want.
The movie is a series of clips in which a variety of different people, from bartenders to Dick Cavett to Henny Youngman.
Pull one up for us.
All right, so let's look at genres. We've got 4 options there, and we're picking on genres.
And how much is this?
This is $40, which is a pretty good price.
Here's a good,
It's a
Borscht
Siemens
Belt?
laser
Borscht
Here's a good choice.
Borscht Belt, truly tasteless, sight gags, true stories, riddles.
Okay, which one are you going to go
So
for?
I'm going to try for window number 5 over here, to the point.
Okay.
And let's see what that brings up.
Category is to the point.
So then we've got this other series of panels, kind of like the Hollywood Squares or something.
Okay.
And here's one that's probably everybody's favorite. It's very familiar. And here we go.
Called Take One.
Take One.
Take one.
Whoops.
Oh.
Well, we didn't get all of that. Let's see if that'll work again.
Take my wife, please.
Still gets a laugh, right?
Yeah.
1,000th time.
Yeah, for the millionth time. We've got all these are Henny Youngman down here, and there's a variety of different
That's
things
pretty
up
good.
here.
All right, Tim, it's your turn, and you're going to show us how to morph on a Mac.
Right, this is a new product called Morph, and if you look at the screen, you see a picture of our first president, George Washington. But when we start the little morphing transition, you'll watch and notice that he begins to change, and all of a sudden now he's Mr. Lincoln.
Wow.
And he goes on to various other presidents before returning.
Does that one come with the package, Tim?
This particular one does, and ends
But
up
you
with
can
Benjamin
create your own
Franklin.
then, huh?
Yes, it's really an exciting package. And for $149, it's a really neat little product to have.
Is it a toy, or would you actually use it?
Well, it's not. A lot of people in the graphics world are going to use this.
Yeah.
You can do it for presentations, and you can even apply it to charts and graphs to be able to make them go from one chart to another in a real nice transition. It's really kind of a nice
I
product.
guess the Michael Jackson thing was like, you know, $1 million computer, right? And it's $150
Right.
to morph.
Absolutely. What morphing was done in the big systems were on mainframes, you can do now on a Macintosh. It's really quite exciting there. One other program I want to just take a quick look at here is from TeamMaker. And this is a what's called a ClickArt Events and Holiday Pack. And this is kind of a neat little product because for $49 you get these cartoons that are used specifically for different events and holidays. And we're just going to take a quick look here and show you what you've got here is Christmas and 4th of July and Easter and Halloween. Halloween you have Boo and all these other little cute things that are set up there. Or you can go to Christmas and have your happy holiday scenes and cartoons that set up. You can literally put into any document.
nice.
Really nice little product for the Macintosh.
Okay, 2 nice things. All right, what do you got, Paul?
I've got 2 things I want to show very quickly, Stuart. First of all, there's Fair Witness. Now, it's $500. It's a work processor. It's an outliner. It's a spreadsheet.
This is an information spreadsheet.
It's an information spreadsheet. It's a fascinating product. It's a better way to get organized on a project. You outline your project. You can use spreadsheets to describe the aspects. You can lay them out on a timeline. You can vote and prioritize the aspects. You can share it in groupware. A terrific new idea. Another terrific idea for the huge storage that both the Windows and the Macintosh require these days is the Bernoulli. This is 90 megabytes. Now, I'll admit these cartridges are a couple $100 each, but they are absolutely worth it. This is the player, and I brought the transportable version. You know the old saying: if it has a handle, it's portable. It's $1,000, but it works with a Macintosh or with a PC for Windows, and it is the finest and least obtrusive external data storage device. Terrific density, terrific reliability.
All right, thank you, Paul. I've got a couple things I want to show very quickly. Lots of sports simulations out there, you know, for tennis and for golf and so on. This is the first sailing simulation I've ever seen. Sailing program you run on your Macintosh. You can run your boat in the America's Cup. You can control all the normal things you would on your boat, and of course there are variations in the wind conditions, the water conditions, and so on. It is $59, kind of neat program. It runs on the Macintosh. One other thing in the first segment on the PC segment, I was talking about writing tools, and we showed the jokes you put on your computer and the quotes and so on. This I find fantastic. It's the new American Heritage Dictionary. I carry it around on my notebook. It's a full 300,000-word dictionary with all the synonyms, with all the origins of the words, the pronunciations, and so on. A 500,000 word thesaurus. It's really handy if you do a lot of writing, you have the dictionary right there with you. Okay, guys, that's all the time we have. Thanks a lot. That's our special Computer Consumers Buying Guide show for this year. We'll see you here again next week on Computer Chronicles.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by the Software Publishers Association, providers